And we're live. Welcome to episode number 2 of Bla Soul. Today we have Daka Ringer from bnstre.com. We have Coffee from bnscoffee.com, and we have Everest from the Imperial Network. Thanks everyone for joining. And I hear some echo. Probably coming from Everest, I'm not sure. Or Coffee, actually. Alright, welcome everyone. Let's jump right into it. Hello. Let's jump right into it. Daka, what class do you play?
I play a Blade Dancer.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Coffee?
I play Summoner.
Oh, shit.
Scummoner.
Scummoner. Everest.
Come on. I play Kung Fu Master and Force Master. I'm just waiting for the Soul Fighter, so I'm playing both.
Yeah, it's kind of hype. I'm actually thinking about playing it too. Okay, let's just talk about the websites you guys have. I think the oldest from the 3 here is Daka, right? Daka, since when do you have bnstre.com?
Well, the actual domain, bnstre.com, was registered last April, but before that, I just had it on like a Dropbox or GitHub page.
Okay, fair enough. So the entire
I had
structure.
it around I don't know, since January of 2014.
Wow, that's a long time. And you shared this with other people, or?
Yeah, I firstly posted on the dojo.
Yeah. That's like the one forum that is like the most popular, I think.
Before the official BNS came out.
It is, I think, yeah. And it's definitely more popular than the Reddit. What was then? Was the Imperial Network or BNS Coffee? I think Network, right? Existed.
Imperial Network, yeah. I believe we came a little bit before BNS Coffee. But essentially we're a organization that looks for the best Blade and Soul players, and we feature them in their streams, and we help announce them on social media, make sure they can grow their streams. Through this, we've actually gotten a few people in the network partnered.
Cool.
We helped Purposeful grow his stream. He's on his way to getting partnered eventually.
We
helped Yoma, who is now partnered.
That's cool. Yoma Flower.
Just a whole bunch of people. I mean, of course, they grow their streams on their own accord through their own personalities, but we kind of help push that and point people in the right direction of where the good streams or the good PvPers are.
Yeah, it is It is the go-to of PvP players, EU and NA. That's every weekend there's the tournaments. Are you in the tournament? If people ask that question, everyone already knows what tournament people are talking about. But yeah, it's cool. So when did you start? It was already in the beta, right?
Oh yeah, we started in closed beta 2. First one, I was kind of seeing what was going on in Blade and Soul, because I didn't play it that much. I played the Russian server before, but I wanted to see how the NA was. I liked it, so on the second closed beta, was it the first tournament? Unfortunately with Enda, but you didn't hear here. But we had help with Laguna, and that really helped us grow our stream.
True.
And kicked off, and here we are. We have 1,000 followers on our Twitch now.
That's awesome.
Growing exponentially, and we have the support from NC West.
Yeah, that's great. We're definitely going to talk about that as well. Coffee, when did you start? Since when does Coffee exist?
I think they started 3 months ago, 2 months ago. I built it just because I was getting to the point in my gear that I started thinking about the math more, and I was like, I kind of want to know what to invest my money in, just because things were starting to get expensive, and when it gets to the point where it takes you 3 or 4 days or even a week to farm the gold required to upgrade your next piece, I wanted to make sure that I was spending my money wisely, just because you're getting a ton of information from every direction and everyone's just kind of guessing. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do the math. And once it was built, once I had it built for myself and my friends, I was like, I'm just going to release it because it's something everyone can use. So, yeah, I figured to do that, and then I got a lot of people telling me the math is wrong or that it's recommending something, and I'm like, hey, like if it's recommending it to you, like it's definitely right. But yeah, I mean, I still try to keep it updated. There's not really as much to update now, but yeah, it's basically just waiting for the elemental accessories now next, and
that's gonna be
kind of take it from there.
Yeah.
I was debating putting like guides or something up there, but I don't know if it's necessarily the right place for that or not. So we'll see.
Fair enough. Okay, so we have all those websites, BNS3, BNS Coffee, and yeah, the Imperial Network. I was actually contacting Dark and Coffee at one point, and because I was planning on making a website too. Does any one of you three know me from? Well, of course, it's contacting now from before, or what I was doing. I wonder.
You were doing your assassin guide with like 60 pages or something like that.
Yeah, right.
That's as far as I know.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, basically, I don't know. Google Docs is kind of okay, but it often crashed because there were too many people on the page and I couldn't change it, and it was kind of annoying. I kind of wanted a different place, so I was contacting Doc because I was thinking about a name. Like, I don't know. I was thinking about like the Arrow way where he called himself Virus now. That's kind of a very assassin-ish name. And so I was thinking, BNS Coffee sounds really cool. I like coffee too. BNS Tree is also a really popular site. Let's just call it bnscoffeetree.com. And
Coffee Tree.
Yeah, and the domain is registered. It's actually an online website now. You can check it out, but it looks super gimpy. Actually, don't look at it. And the first thing that I and
BNS Coffee Tree.
that I and a friend are working on is you have a drop-down menu with all HM skills, with HM levels, and a checkbox with all the HM skills, and you click on show me the build, and it's going to show you the build. There will be a million different values, and it's going to take a long time to get that page running. So I was contacting Coffee as well, asking about the code, what's the easiest way, because oh my god, you can make it very, very complicated and way too long anyways. That's actually the next thing I want to talk about, Everest. So the whole coding thing in bns.com, and because that's the main thing. Did you do that, or who did that?
No. So I had a few people help me out. Sinolis, Vinlock. These are both like very talented, advanced coders, and they helped me with any request I had to make. Actually, Vinlock, who has been working with me for 6 months now, is now coding our new site. If some people may have noticed that IMPBNS is down right now because we're working on our new website, which is going to have like a whole bunch of guides and stuff, but we can talk about that after.
That's awesome. So are you into coding at all, or have no idea?
No, I'm not particularly into coding.
Okay.
I'm more into design.
Yeah, that's cool. But you do that, like the whole Photoshop thing. Who made the logo, for example? I want to know that.
And Toshin, who is an A player, he made it for me like back in beta. I commissioned him to make it for me, so
it looks
I was really
amazing.
thankful for that.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It looks so official. Like, I don't know, it looks really good. But Daka and Coffee are really into coding. Daka, when did you start coding? Did you learn it in school, or?
Well, I started coding back in high school, but most of the stuff that went into BNS Tree were mostly self-taught.
Holy shit. That's crazy. That's like a lot of coding, a lot of things with the sidebar popping up, going to the assassin thing. How many hours do you have to... How many hours did you put into that in the beginning? Daily?
You mean like the sidebar popping out?
Yeah, no, generally, the whole website building up, like starting. How many hours did you put in there daily?
I'll like start from morning to late at night.
That's crazy. And just seeing code.
But like coding the actual site didn't take that long. What took the most time was translating all the skills and all that into English.
That's the next point. Are you translating that?
Yeah, everything was translated by me by hand. So there may be I may have made some mistakes here and there, and over the months, people brought this up to me, and then I'll just fix it, right?
Fair enough. So there can be mistakes on bnsstream.com.
But most of them should be fixed.
Okay, cool.
Not all.
So you speak fluent English, fluent Korean?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Any other languages we should know of?
I kind of know Japanese by watching too many anime. I think that counts.
I don't know. It depends. Coffee, do you speak Korean?
I don't, but I did learn a lot of Korean a long time ago when I was playing like Terra in Korea, and then playing like C9 over there, and just
C9
was
a great game,
It started with Lineage 2. And then I played way too much Lineage 2. But it got to the point where I just needed to learn that. And then I learned a lot of Pinyin just so I could speak to like the Chinese farmers in WoW. And so,
Wow.
But I haven't used any of that stuff in so long that I learned like stuff like how to tell them to quit kill stealing me, or like little things. Like, and then they'd be like, then they would just think I was like Chinese or Korean, and then they would listen and they would just kind of like leave you alone, even though you're using like English characters in your name.
That's hilarious.
Or Latin characters rather.
Do people listen to you when you spoke Chinese?
No, I really wouldn't usually ask them that much. It turned into like business stuff half the time afterwards. So that's it.
Wow. So you did shady business with Chinese farmers in WoW?
Yes, I did for a very long time. For like 6 years. That was.
Oh.
I will say that I was definitely supplying them with accounts for a long time.
Wow.
So I'm sorry to everyone.
Oh God.
Or you're welcome to everyone who bought gold. I don't know. Depends which side of the fence you're on, I suppose.
Oh God.
You're not sorry. You made a lot of money.
No, I'm not sorry at all. I literally.
Let's be real, man. Come on.
Oh man.
It was good for the people that would try to steal their accounts back, though, because when you sell them to the Chinese farmers, they get the accounts banned in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go to steal the account back, it's already banned, and you're just like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. And they get all mad at you because they're trying to steal their account back after you pay them for it, and it's just like, yeah, I'm very happy to just be done with all that stuff. No thanks. It's not worth the headache anymore.
The whole coding thing. I'm basically trying to create this whole thing, just the builder of the. I have a lot of plans I want to integrate. And, it's so much. Thinking about it melts my brain. All this coding, did you do that by yourself, Coffee?
I did.
Wow.
I legit have ADD, so I can get very obsessive over things, and code was one of those things. I spent like years working on a different website for Hearthstone. Some people that may know me on Reddit may know of that. And then I just kind of spent time learning things. I learned some programming back in like high school and college, but I didn't even use any of those languages for any of the stuff nowadays, because there's always newer and better things out. Like Robin, I'm sure, knows that like there's newer things with like when it comes to like Node.js and then Bootstrap and like Handlebars and Angular and all these newer kind of JavaScript based stuff is much better than like the old school like PHP and all that other stuff. So there's better things to work with now. So you just have to continue to learn. Like there's always something new to learn and things that kind of may work better for you. And like that's the hardest thing, I guess, to pick up something from scratch. Like you just have to be really dedicated. Like you just have to be ready to, as he was saying, like wake up and like I literally would spend, some days it'd be 14 hours just like coding all day, and like I wouldn't even take breaks to play games just because I would rather do that instead.
Yeah, one can get really obsessed about this whole thing. I was like starting to get into it, and I was like, okay, so how do I get this name for the how can I make this website mine? How can this be mine? You're gone now, Coffee.
Yeah, I need to grab some water. So.
All right, go ahead. Daka and Everest, did you play WoW?
Not really.
No.
Really? What? I'm so surprised. What other big game did you play before BNS?
I've played like League, Hearthstone, like Heroes of the Storm, like all the like really big titles. I've touched and done esports for.
You're a Blizzard fanboy?
No, by no means.
Really?
But I do like some of their games. I'm by no means a fanboy though.
Daka, what did you play before? Big games.
Before League, Korean BNS.
Ah, yeah, but like from North America on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You live in North America.
Yeah.
All you three live in NA, I assume. That's interesting.
Pretty sure I live like 20 minutes from Dhaka.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know each other IRL?
No,
Not
but
really.
I know we live like 20 minutes away from each other.
Okay, fair enough.
Most likely.
Yeah. I'm just an EU pleb. I'm very far away from you guys. So getting the chance to see Worlds is probably gonna be very slim because I assume it's gonna be in NA. Do you have any information on that? I think no one has, huh?
What was that?
Where
I'm
the
not allowed to
championship-
say anything.
Oh, you know
Sorry.
something. Okay.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble. Okay, so let's talk
You will
about
be blinded.
the websites we know as the BNS community is a thing now, which we already know. BNS Tree, Imperial Network, BNS Coffee. Now in the making, maybe in half a year it's done. BNS Coffee Tree. Dude,
You serious, dude?
dude, I started this website. I was like, okay, how do I get this website? And like, what do I need to know, like coding? And people told me, yeah, HTML. I'm like, okay, how to make this notebook shit now? And they're like, oh, you need to know CSS. What is that? And oh god, it is crazy. If you know nothing, it is so crazy. And
No, you're at the point where you might as well take half the code from BNS Tree and half the code from
people
BNS
suggested that to
Coffee.
me. Yeah,
and
It's-
just
they're
put
like,
it
you can
together
just
into
steal
one
it.
thing.
Yeah. I
Just
should-
right click and check source.
I should do that. It
Well-
would be more gimmicky. Can I steal your stuff?
Well, how BNS Tree started out was by stealing code from the actual NC Korea's official simulator.
Interesting.
And then,
Wow,
like,
the truth
copying it
comes
and then
out.
translating into English and all that.
Hmm.
The truth
But
comes out.
ever since last year, exactly like 1 year ago, I remade it from scratch because it was so limited,
Mm-hmm.
not very friendly to me.
Okay, fair enough. So, does the Korean website have a builder?
Yes, but it's outdated by 6 months.
Oh my god. What the
They
hell?
don't bother to update it these days for some reason.
Do they generally bother updating their other websites they have where you can get information? For example, we know WoW Armory, we know WoWhead, all those kind of websites. BNS Coffee probably knows them very well. Yeah, how is that for Blade & Soul Korea? Do they have that kind of stuff where you can get information?
Mostly it's on their official website.
Mm.
It's called PowerBook. I'm sure they have it for Ion as well and other NC games.
Mm.
So I get most of my information from there as well.
Mm.
So you just go to the main site and just search up something.
Yeah, if you speak Korean, obviously. Like
Yeah, of course.
Google Translate.
Google Translator works.
That's not a good thing. I do have this one, like a compendium of a lot of links, and like 3 of them are Korean websites, and you just right-click, translate, blah, and like mine is German, and oh my god, it's really hard to find stuff. Like speaking Korean is probably really nice. What is the one thing you guys would like to see in the community that we have that kind of website for information? Because now
So you're talking like LOL King, for instance, for League of Legends, where it's like you can get all the statistics, previous matches, like etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if we had something like that for Blade & Soul, that would add a lot of transparency to like the community and like how people are doing and stuff, which is nice. It's nice to have those kind of websites.
Okay.
Like LOL King. or
Yeah,
WoW.
yeah. Everest and Dhaka, you have to help me. Like, what is lolking directly doing?
Okay, so you search up a character name, and it'll show the previous league matches they had. For instance, it'll tell you their score or what items they had. Obviously, you can't do that for Blade & Soul, but you can kind of cool things to see would be like how long the match was, what their HP was.
Ah, and you can. Is that technically possible, Dhaka and Coffee, to have that kind of website?
It is not because NCSoft will not create an API. So League, like League of Legends, Guild Wars 2, WoW, in some regards, they utilize what's called an API. So basically, they allow developers to basically access and use information from people who agree to let you basically have access to their KD, like their KDR and kind of what builds they're using in their games and everything like that. And they have zero interest in doing that for Blade and Soul, unfortunately, because this is something I requested. I was like, they were asking me like, hey, what are the things you would want to help make BNS Coffee better, or what information would you want? And I made a bunch of, like, the first thing is like, well, an API. That would be like the biggest thing that every developer out there could use anything for. And then I requested a bunch of other stuff, and I can't really speak about what was given and what was not, but so I can definitely say that APIs are completely off the table for this game.
Okay. Right now, the best thing we can do is just scrape their character profile pages.
Yep. Yeah.
Which I might add, the Korean version actually had the ratings included in their character profiles, but for some reason NA doesn't. If we had
the whole sandbox thing.
Yeah, if we had that, I might have made a ladder page, PvP ladder page, using that information. But
Rio was like almost completely on a sandbox, right? And then they moved it over to NAU, kind of like removed the sandbox element, especially like with that social platform they have on there too.
Yeah, that's kind of...
That was part of the sandbox.
I think in the last stream from BNS, they had something like they were talking about this.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, they built it themselves, blah, blah, blah. Do you, Dhaka Coffee, Everest, do you guys have a bit more information, contact to NC West? Do you think that is something we will see in the future? Because cross-server chat is at the moment not a thing. We don't have BetaNet.
For me,
I'm sure even if one of us knew, we probably wouldn't be able to talk about it.
Oh wow, yeah, I guess we should talk about this.
That's like NDA kind of information.
Fair enough. But let's just give NCOS a quick shout out. Please give us API, or not me, because I have no idea what that is. But Coffee and Dakaringer would do crazy cool things with this, and probably Imperial Network as well with the PvP
with rankings maybe.
Yeah. Just the ranking part, that would be
just
cool.
The ranking would help. Like
yeah.
Absolutely.
Give it to us. We want it. Okay, so let's say we have this locking thing. Is there any other thing we would want from like the community, or just this landscape of websites to have? Is there anything other? Because we have Dojo, which is like the go-to forum. If you Google stuff, Blade and Soul, any kind of guide, most of the time you get to the dojo. Blade and Soul or NC West has an official forum. Most people don't know that. And there is the Reddit. I think, is there any other really common website other people don't know of?
I saw something this morning on Reddit about a guy who's like creating the entire Blade and Soul database by hand, which seems tedious, but
oh my god!
Since we don't have an API to get access to the actual items database, I don't know. The only thing I searched on his website was Frozen Stinger, but it had some decent information.
Would take,
but it seems like no thanks.
Like a Wowhead thing, right, Coffee?
Yeah, except Wowhead is actually, they have the entire database.
Oh
so,
my god, making that
like Curse is big enough that they can actually go to companies now and either offer to pay them for it or offer something to basically get access to it to make their sites. Like that's why they always have these most of the time. But I don't think NCSoft cares about who Curse Gaming is, so they're not going to give them a database either. So
damn it. Yeah, the API thing is a big problem. Overwatch has that, right? There is a ranking with the people, with how much healing they did in games and stuff, right?
Overwatch doesn't have an API right now. Hearthstone doesn't have an API. They said they were going to create an API for Hearthstone. I know they have it for Diablo 3 and for WoW, though, I believe.
Overwatch does have an API.
They do?
They have masteroverwatch.com. You can look up leaderboards of like all who's the top of
I saw Purposeful, because you said that before, Everest. Purposeful is playing this game a lot.
Yeah, he's level 270 or something like that.
He's playing healer, right? Like mostly support.
Yeah, he has like 170 hours on Mercy or something.
Wow. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the.
He's actually ranked 6th in the world for time played. 242 hours played.
Holy shit.
I didn't realize that Blizzard had opened that up for that. I kind of want to go find out now.
steal some information.
No, I just
Daka's already copying the code though.
Yeah, you can find like overall performance, hero performance, play time by role, all that stuff. Oh, sorry, he has 197 hours on Mercy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, you undermined his performance.
Yeah, my bad.
Do you three? So I can say for myself, I have a job besides doing what I'm doing. I have like a crazy amount of hours streamed. Sadly, you cannot see the games. I think on Twitch, it just says how much you streamed every day, hours, blah blah. And I made a tweet a month ago to Jonathan, who's Babeltron for NC West, showing them how much I streamed. It was crazy. Like I had days where I streamed 16 hours plus played and Soul, mostly making the guide and stuff. I work shift and I work like in the optic fiber production. We produce glass and make optic fiber cables out of it. Do you three have a job? Is my question.
Yes.
What do you do?
I am a network engineer and NOC technician, so completely unrelated to code, but.
But so what you do at work helps you creating BNS Coffee?
Absolutely nothing other than having
Really?
spare time.
Oh.
No, I manage in networks for businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in charge of basically keeping 6,000 computers running properly. Or a bunch of servers. It's not really coding. I mean, I guess the only thing it does is I have downtime to where I can occasionally code sometimes. That's about it.
Fair enough. Did you ever have problems with your computer running Blade and Soul? It's instantly fixed, if so, huh?
No, I never had any issues with mine, no.
Alright, okay. Daka, what do you do for a job?
For me, well, I'm doing an internship right now. Right now I'm a junior software developer and a small company. I make basically web applications and all that. So one of the reasons why I rewrote BNS Tree was like during the first few months of my internship, my boss said to research stuff that would research more on web technologies and learn. And then I learned a bunch of stuff like Node.js, React, and all that. And gave me an idea to like, hey, I could use this for my BNS Tree website. And then I like rebuilt everything from scratch.
Oh, damn.
And then, a few months later, I'm about to get back into college.
Sweet.
Finish my degree.
Wait, Everest, what do you do?
Well, before I started taking classes, because right now I just finished it, but I was taking marketing management classes in college. But before that, I was running esports events for like big games like League and Hearthstone.
Oh, damn.
In Toronto.
Oh, wow.
And I would like order at a venue, and I would bring people in, and they would pay an entry fee, and I'd make a little profit off of it. That was my job. Okay. And I saved it up enough to do my classes and to take a bit of time off before I get back into it. So that's why I'm trying to grow Imperial and kind of make that into a business through like sponsors and stuff,
A bigger thing, yeah. So you know about the whole how to run the tournament check-ins, because like
and I'm taking the classes and to do that kind of stuff, market it out.
Yeah. So
work with the sponsors.
Yeah, because I started, I was like just part of the Smite community, was trying to help people there on a day-to-day basis, and I started to run tournaments too. I did like for half a year, I'm lying, I think, I don't know, half a year. I ran those tournaments. It was 2v2 tournaments. We had a couple of rules set up. It was just in Google Docs, and like everyone was meeting in Razer Comms, which is not a good program to organize that kind of stuff. Shoutouts to Discord, by the way, really nice to have communication with. And you have too many channels on your Discord, Everest.
What?
You have too many channels on your Discord. It's too much. It's like every time I'm on that Discord, it's like scrolling down, scrolling up, like, oh god, where do I have to go? But I think that's just how it is.
Well, that's because we can't currently like add sub channels, right? So
Mhm.
it would be much more organized if we can add sub channels and close it. But that's something they're going to add, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But they haven't added it yet, so we're kind of making a compromise.
Yeah. So, you talked about, or what I just want to start talking about is the support from NC West with your 3 websites. You started this, and then at one point said, "Okay, guys, I have to stop." Just to start the story from there. Why did you guys stop?
Are you talking about like Imperial tournaments and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so we stopped originally because just we saw a lack of support coming in from like the community team, which after we made our discontinuation statement, they rapidly responded to us, and we started because I did like unregrettably call out the community manager.
Okay.
But anyway, they came to me and they offered to help more, and then we gave them some propositions such as arena balance, better prizing, helping community tournaments attain sponsors, which would in turn make other organizations aside from Imperial pop up because they know they can get a sponsors, they know they can get prizing for their tournaments, and then the esports scene in Blade & Soul would be healthier. This isn't just about like Imperial at that point, right? Yeah. This is just about making a healthier competitive community. But so after talks, we got better pricing. I'll actually announce it right now. So aside from like the $5 Hung Moon coin that we were getting before, now it's like $25, and then we get the bamboo outfit still, but it's subject to change. We might ask for a different outfit every month or 2 months.
That would be cool, yeah.
And actually, you get the first place winner will get 5 excellent XP charms as well when they win the tournament.
That's not bad.
Which is 500,000 experience for winning a tournament. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's like a compromise for your time.
Especially for the PvP plebs, huh? Like, I know playing PvP all day, you get 3,000 experience for a win. That's not too bad.
They're actually raising that. They're increasing the XP you're getting on the 22nd. Like, nice. I think that's the compromise. Like when we asked for arena balance, we were hoping for the best, but in reality, still an MMO. So I guess the point we're pushing is make anything with PvP more accessible, right? Make PvP more rewarding, and that's what we wanted, and we're getting that, which is awesome.
Sweet. Daka, did NC West? Did you with NC West ever had any communication?
No.
Okay, so they're just letting you do the thing. They're, I guess, grateful for it that you do that. They probably don't care. I don't know. But you never.
I don't know.
You the only thing you want and what Coffee wants is an API, huh?
I just want more stuff to play around with, I guess.
And that would all be API, or is there other things that you would love to have? What can you play around with? Like data, I assume.
Well, what I did with the skills, I can just create my own data by just going through all that, but that'll be tiresome.
That's true. Also, a lot of people come to bnstreet.com when they don't understand the skills in game. They're like, I don't know what that description of my skill means if I spec points into this. And they're like, yeah, every time people ask me, I'm like, yeah, go to bnstreet.com, there's a better translation. But yeah, is there a way to support you for people? Because I know Coffee has like a donation system where people can donate, and he shows that. Do you have that kind of thing?
I believe on the bottom left of your site, don't you have one of those donate links, Taka?
Yeah, on the sidebar at the bottom, very small, there's like a donate button.
Okay, fair enough. Do you have something similar as well, Everest?
No, honestly, I'm I'm fine as is. Like I've
Mhm.
had donations in the past, and I appreciated it. But a lot of the times, I actually push their donations back to them because I don't want people to think like we need it because we don't. Because
Yeah,
I
no,
already have everything set for like investment in Imperial.
fair enough. Coffee. You had contact with NCUS before, right? They said,
Yep.
what can we help? How can we help?
Mhm.
And you said, give us API. Give API
Well,
blocks.
I sent them a list of requests and
Mhm.
stuff, and they've been kind of working on what can and cannot come, and some of that
They
stuff
say no a
is
lot,
still in the
unfortunately.
works. Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure you know that as well as I do. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What do you know? Huh?
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Just how much they say no because how much their hands are tied together.
Mm-hmm.
It's really unfortunate. I just want to make clear though
Uh-huh.
that none of this is NC West's fault. People get that wrong
Yeah.
all the time.
Mhm.
They're
NC
trying.
Soft is the
It's their hands
criminal.
are tied.
Okay.
It's
NC
you have to
Soft.
send every request back to Korea, and then Korea's like, we don't know
Nope.
these people. No.
Who's
I don't
Everest? Who's
have-
Coffee?
Much high expectations, so I just like
Work with what we have.
don't care.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's a message I actually just want to communicate real quick to the people, that Jonathan and Julian and all those kind of people you see on stream, most of the decisions they make, it's not their decision, and they have a headquarters, and headquarters says yes or no, and it's just a barrier that Korea headquarters is further
So
away.
this is how it goes. I'll tell you
Mhm.
exactly how it goes.
Go
So
ahead.
it goes NC Soft executives, NC Soft, NC West executives, NC West community.
Oh,
And that's how it goes.
it has to go that way until either we get it or.
Yeah, it has to go up the ladder all the way, and then once a decision is made,
Hmm.
it comes back to us.
On the
And
other hand,
monthly process, most likely. Like doing that forever.
yeah. On the other hand, one thing I see a lot now, especially recently, is all the changes they're making, like balance-wise, and they're adding infinite tower and that kind of thing, and a lot of balance changes. Like on the first show, that was 3 hours long. Shout out to all the people that participated in that and didn't die. It was crazy. It was way too long. They are doing a lot of changes. Daka, Korea gives you a lot of work to change your website, right?
Yeah, I'll be busy once those changes hit the live server.
Oh damn! Did you look into any of the changes for that Korea test server has?
Yeah,
How's Blade Dancer gonna be?
Blade Dancer. I'd say it's a minor buff.
Yeah. Okay. Do
Yeah.
you know anything about your class, Everest? What did you play?
Kung Fu Master and
Yeah.
Force Master. I'm not too familiar. I didn't really look at the test server notes.
As far as
I saw
know,
the assassin changes, but that's not.
Yum.
the-
As far as I know, FM gets nothing so far, right, Daka? I think. Do you know? I
FM,
think there's no changes for FM, as far as I know.
not too much.
Coffee, do you know the test server changes for summoners?
I do not. I haven't PvP'd since like the first few seasons. I did it just to get diamond a few times, and then I have not had the time to grind ladder. And summoners have been progressively getting more and more balanced. So
As in bad.
More and more balance.
well, like they've
That
been
was
like
the thing.
overpowered for so long. Like it was a joke. I mean, I've never
45
been.
patch.
Yeah, I've never been like some like world class PvPer in any game. Like I'm like a gold 5 maybe like league player. So like I'm just not. I'm not a very good PvP player like, when it comes to like MMOs. Like I'm an FPS
As soon as
player.
you
I
have a
can play
cat and a
those well.
laser, you're good.
Yeah, but like in this game, I just like hopped on Summoner and I like had a friend who played Korea like a ton, so I was able to just kind of like feed off of him for information, and he just gave me builds, and I was able to figure it out in like 10 minutes. So Summoner was kind of overpowered for a really long time. So I take
PvE, they're fine, right? They're a good class.
PvE will always be the best class. Like there's like no,
Really?
I don't think that'll ever change.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't think Summoner will ever not be the best like solo PvE class. Just if
He
you
has
want.
the statistics.
The pet taunt, by the way. Holy shit, there's a taunt in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, I knew to go on Summoner just because I had a friend who played Summoner on Korea for forever. He played Summoner again here, and that's why, like, when the game first came out, even at 45 patch, he was like soloing Pohar and 4-man and everything, and like I was like, oh well, that's can only be done on Summoner back at 45 patch. So I knew that if I was going to be playing kind of by myself often, or maybe just with him, like we could go duo pretty much anything if we're both on Summoner. So we just kind of.
Fair enough. What is generally the big motivation you guys have to run the website itself, Daka?
For me, I would say it's more like a resume.
Okay. For
Like-
people to look at it.
Like all the different. It's basically a playground for me to test out like different web technologies. I even I'm even running a Discord bot on it right now, and it's only used by my guild so far. But
Fair enough.
yeah, yeah, it's just test things out.
Okay. Everest, what drives you to keep going, especially now that you kind of came back and said, all right, guys, we're back. We have some support now. What drives
Well,
you?
initially, like when I first started, it was kind of to build the infrastructure for esports to come in Bladed Soul. So obviously they haven't like announced anything on esports, haven't talked about competitive too much because they're busy with all these patches coming out. But as Imperial, we kind of set ourselves to be like the platform for competitive
Yeah.
in Blade and Soul, and we did so successfully. Even after ESL came out, we were like the highest standing tournament.
Yep.
Not to gloat, I'm just saying.
Yep.
And we kind of set ourselves as the platform to be on.
Yep.
Aside from official, and like that was my drive. Like that was my motivation. We were at the top, so we might as well stay there. But when we kind of stopped, it was just to make a point. Like, we need to make a point as a community that NC Soft has to get shit done. Like one thing to know about Korea, like culturally, is they care about the community and what we have to say. We have to be like very vocal about it, and we have to kind of respect that they can only do certain changes. They can't completely change the game for us.
Yeah.
So we recognize that, and like whatever changes they throw our way to help the NAE community out, and our differences, we appreciate, and it is happening. Like on the 22nd, we're getting more experience for PvP and whatnot, and that was the kind of movement we tried to make, and it happened. So we're happy about that. But coming back, our motivation is now we have more incentive for the players, which is a big thing, and we'll have sponsors, and hopefully we get bigger prizes like keyboards and mice and monitors, what have you, and just make sure that we can keep the competitive community healthy.
Yeah.
If it's not healthy after we come back, even with these prizes, chances are, due to like the time commitment, we'll stop again. But we're confident that when we come back with all these prizes and whatnot, that the community will hear us out and start participating again.
Coffee, do you have the feeling that, from the letter that Venus released, and generally the streams they do, the Q&As, that they have the will, and like, do you have the trust that Everest has in starting this again, that NC West has this? Do you believe in NC West, what they're doing? And especially, like, we have people there, we have Jonathan, we have Julian. Do you believe in them, what they're doing?
I think, again, they're definitely going to do everything in their power to kind of support us as much as they possibly can, and support the community, like especially the PvP community, in that regard. But at the same time, they're going to start to feel a lot of pressure. Like there's a lot of games coming out right now.
Yeah.
Overwatch coming out is probably one of the worst things that could happen for competitive Blade and Soul, just because a lot of competitive players may just hop right over to there.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of them already have.
A bunch of them already have.
That much attention to it, but again, the game has the opportunity still. Like it's not like it's going to completely die out. Hopefully they can get some spectator support. That'd probably be like the number one thing that would help PvP grow is being able to spectate tournaments and run stuff without having to do it in tag, because that's just like such
That's
a
coming
pain.
very soon.
Like,
I can say that
and
much.
like
It's coming
awesome.
it's
soon.
good. I mean they've had it on KR, like I know, but it's like their dev mode to do it. So
They can only do that locally. That's the thing about that. And it's a completely different thing doing it like online. Sure, you know.
But yeah,
like,
I mean that's the biggest thing is if you want a game to grow as an esport, it needs to be very spectator friendly.
Yeah.
Like if it's not, it's not going to work out. That's why like Hearthstone crushes like Magic, basically, because Magic's not spectator friendly and Hearthstone is, and because of that, Hearthstone will continue to be a much better,
even Overwatch,
I guess, viewer
release.
sport. And yeah, I mean, same like Overwatch. They knew what their target market was, and they invested a lot of resources to ensure that they had a spectator client that was going to work well for streaming it, for casting it, for doing everything. So
I honestly think if Blade & Soul released with the spectator client, it would have been exponentially more successful than it was.
Yeah, I think it would have helped a lot.
Yeah.
On the other hand, as far as I know, they said that this whole spectator client thing. So Korea, if I understand this correctly, they don't really run any of those. There is no Imperial network for Korea, correct? Daka, do you know about that? Yeah, they don't have.
There's
that, right?
no community tournaments in Korea because it's all really local, right? Korea's so small.
Yeah, true.
Compared to North America and Europe.
Which is also a thing with the network, with the internet they have there.
Yeah, that's why you get like the desync all the time, because the game is built
on
for like 10 ping, like 20 ping at max, right? As soon as you throw like 80 ping, 40 ping, 100 ping,
it's gonna be weird.
And all of the tournaments are run by NC themselves.
Yeah.
So
there, and like looking, all of us have seen those videos, those live streams. It's crazy professional. They have their booths. It's like League of Legends hype style. They invest a lot of money. There's people sitting in the crowd, everyone with their phone with the things popping up, covering their faces.
Have you seen the quarterly like profits that NC makes?
No.
Oh my god. They make hundreds of millions of dollars.
But now, before or now with NC West?
NC West, okay. They were at like, I think, 40 million or something. Don't quote me on this, but say they were at 40 million, they're making 20 million per quarter. Every 3 months or something.
Yeah, but it's super big. Like it's so professional what they do, and it's just for Blade & Soul, for such a thing come to the Western world is so much different. It's just not a second Korea they have here. There's the internet thing, there's the Spectre client, because that's just a thing in our society, in our thing, that we had ESL forever. I remember playing Call of Duty Pro Mod, shout out to whoever played that game. Oh my god, it was godlike. Playing that one in the ESL. And it has always been a thing to have those small ESL, I don't know, scrims and tournaments and that kind of thing running. And I think you're right, Everest, having that from the beginning. I think how long did the community wait for Blade & Soul to be in the Western world? Does anyone know?
2 years more.
They waited 3 years because they wanted to invest resources in WildStar. It didn't quite work out, but that was their choice. They said WildStar or Blade & Soul NA, and they, I don't know.
That happened. Okay,
I had high hopes for the game in beta, but it just
same. I only played it in beta.
I'm sad I wasted $60 on that game just to be savage.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the current game. Blade & Soul, that is, not WildStar. So the Spectre client coming. Yeah. Sorry. I played it in beta and it turned out not so hype as it looked like. I don't know. People just still played it. They put a lot of. They tried, but they didn't succeed. But yeah, now we have that.
It seemed like they thought it was to be the next big thing, but it actually really wasn't.
It's weird. Some games just, I don't know. Same with Guild Wars 2. That was I loved that game. It was great. The PvP was awesome.
Guild Wars 2 is still a great game. I guess not for I mean, it's a great PvE game. For PvP, like, it's suffering the same thing. I think that like Blade and Soul has like the hard times with is it's very hard to have a MMO PvP game that is spectator friendly because the only people that are going to watch your game are people that play the game. It's like very hard to get like an outside interest. Like I can sit down with my wife and have her like watch like StarCraft 2 or League or even like Overwatch, and she can kind of very quickly like understand what's going on even though she's never played any of the games. But with like MMO kind of PvP, it's very hard to really get into it and understand what's going on if you haven't played yourself or you're not actively like looking to play. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
Have you seen 3v3 tournaments in WoW? That shit is clusterfuck. Like I play WoW for a long time, and I don't know what to focus on first to like keep track of the game. It's crazy. You can look at the cooldowns, you can look at the HP. You have to look at HP because they make swaps and people are dead in 5 seconds. It's insane. And same in Blade and Soul. There's especially in the tag match that happened now on OGN Live. There's still a lot of things going on. Like when Eyebrows destroyed this one KFM on like 40% HP, 30%. It was crazy. I had to rewatch it 2 times to see that he just killed that KFM in that short amount of time. It was crazy. It was really cool.
The ping they're playing on, they can make plays in an instant. Just snap their fingers and like kill them.
Man, I wish I was good enough to play on LAN at one point. I hope that's gonna be a thing too, like LAN tournaments. I want to play a game on LAN. Actually, maybe not, because then when I'm home, I'm back home and see what I cannot do anymore. But yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, what to talk about? Content creation. Is there anything new coming up for your website, Daka? I saw the Soul Shield thing. Is that up to date?
Soul Shields should be up to date. And yeah, that would include the next dungeon, the Gloomdross incursion, and all that. Yeah, since that has all the rest of the Twisted Soul Shield stats up to date, I might add in more Soul Shields later, but yeah.
Okay. Coffee. Do you have hype things coming up in the future? You and me talked a bit about the guides, but you mentioned that before. What's the state?
Yeah, it's not really a priority right now. Like it's mainly just kind of waiting to see what things can kind of be concessions can be made by NC West to kind of figure out what will be worked on next. I mean, other than that, it's probably going to be, Q3, I think, before we get elemental accessories, maybe? Or is that supposed to be coming in a few weeks? I don't know. That's pretty much it. I mean, just continue to update the gear, and then kind of updating and making little changes from what people recommend. I need to put my email on the website. If not, it's just support@bnscoffee.com. Anyone can email it anytime, and I'll get it and kind of take any recommendation and figure out what people want. Yeah, pretty much it's just little quality of life changes. I mean, again, like right now, the websites that I run, it's mainly just like a resume, as Stalker was saying, just kind of, it continues to basically learn new skills and then have something to show people when they want code samples. And so it's just whatever sounds fun to me to work on, I'll kind of work on it if I want to learn something new. And there's nothing like super, I guess, like necessary or like this needs to be built out ASAP. There's nothing that's like actively in the pipeline that I'm even working on for BNS Coffee right now.
I mean, it's what do you want from BNS Coffee? You want this to be a website to put in your character and you know what upgrades you want to do, and that's the purpose of the website, and it works. And yeah, small changes. Is the whole maths about the elemental accessories going to be a big deal for you?
No, it shouldn't change too much. It'll mainly just I'll have to look at kind of the rotation for each class and kind of see how much of an impact each one of the different elemental accessories will have, because like the math is easier for some classes or versus others. Like Summoner, it's pretty simple. Like if it's earth damage, it's like almost like 90% of our damage or something. So I can just basically the elemental damage comes in percentage form already, so then you just weight it towards however much of an actual impact it will have. towards that. Other than that, I mean, Hongmoon skills, like that's the one thing that people kind of have to understand, I guess, their own class, like their own impact of their Hongmoon skills, like in terms of when crit is more valuable than like crit damage per se, because that's something I can't. It's hard. It would be hard for me to weight, I guess, like how important crit is versus crit damage, like how much of an extra boost, I guess, to give to something. It would really depend on what Hongmoon skills people have. I mean, for most classes, everyone gets a better benefit from crit just by having their Hongmoon skill. But at the same time, the crit percentage difference is not that high. Like the biggest one people like will always bring up is the like Asura bracelet versus the other bracelets. And pretty much I always tell people, like, if you have other jewelry you can put your money into, then put your money in other jewelry before your bracelet. But like your bracelet should just be last, or maybe before your belt. It should come before your belt. But I mean, pretty much that. Just because the amount of money involved to get your bracelet up to the point where it's better than the Asura bracelet, even including the extra weight you get from the extra bonuses and effectiveness of crit.
It's just a lot.
It's enough to where you could upgrade all your other accessories. Like you could upgrade like 3 different accessories in the same amount of cost. Depending where you are in your bracelet already, because some people were already like at Awakened Python or something, or kind of very close. So it changes.
I might add that the Ebon Drake Citadel that will be coming out Q4 this year has a bracelet requirement, like in the same way Asura and the belt.
So, yeah.
Interesting. So you have to have.
But I think Ebon Drake is Q4 for us, though, right?
Yeah.
I think they mentioned on like their little like here's what we're planning for the rest of the year. So everyone has a good 6 months to get that one, and I think it's like 6 months to make 1,000 gold or something. So I think everyone can do that.
Yeah. I honestly, Coffee, never run Asura. I'm scared. Should I be scared? Is it hard? I have 526 AP.
I don't know. Check the site. I don't know the map.
I don't have the bracelet.
I mean,
should I try? Have you done?
I mean, try it out. I mean, you can play it. I do Asura. I mean, yeah, I duo Asura or trio Asura. I mean, you just kind of have to play with it and see if it works for you. I mean, some people don't even like how it feels to just not crit as much. Like they can feel, or they believe they can feel that like 3% crit difference. But as you get higher crit, anyways, the higher your crit gets, like there's like a soft cap on crit. So once you get like around 60% or anywhere like near it or above, like it starts getting much more expensive to get like more crit percentage out of it. So I don't know, play with it. I mean, that's the only thing I can recommend to people is kind of if you have 2 bracelets, play with them both and see which one you enjoy more. I mean, I know Assassin is like very heavily weighted on crit, and like you guys already get a huge boost in crit damage. So for you, like crit may just be better, but it does take into account your actual huge crit damage bonus already. But I don't know.
The annoying thing is it always, like when I type in my name, it always pops up in the bottom at the top left. I always see the Asura bracelet popping up instant. I'm like, no, I don't want to run Asura. Can I upgrade something else?
Yeah, I mean, keep looking at everything else, but yeah, I mean, again,
only get
pretty
harder
much the only recommendation.
No.
Yeah, it's just you could try it, and some people don't like it. I mean, you can run whatever you want. I'd say run Asura bracelet, and you may fall in love with the damage numbers you're seeing. So
fair enough. Everest, I think I'll just stick to PvP though.
Yeah.
Everest, what do you have hype things coming up now? I mean, obviously, your website bns.com is down at the moment. What can we expect from the new thing?
Okay, so yes, it's down at the moment, but when our website is back, we're going to have like a guide section, and we're going to have a section that even players that aren't part of Imperial Network can add guides. So, and I kind of wanted to like put BNS Tree into that too, since me and Doc have semi been working together, not so much recently, kind of being out of the loop with Blade and Soul, but we would have guides where it'd be like a text guide, and then they can put their BNS trees inside of the guide, and it would link to Daka's site or something like that. And we can also have it, like with BNS Coffee, for instance, we can work that out somehow. But anyway, the point is we'll have like featured guides of like the top players in Blade and Soul. We'll have general guides, any player that wants to write a guide. Of course, the guides would have to be approved, so we don't get trolls.
Yeah, obviously.
And on top of that, before our website only featured like streamers we wanted to. Now, in turn, we know the streaming community for Blade and Soul isn't that healthy right now. It's always very low. So we're going to start supporting everybody, opposed to just the streamers we choose. So it's more of an open network now. I mean, we'll still have our featured ones, but we're going to open up a bit to the general community.
Fair enough.
Aside from that, hoping to like start like a store kind of thing, and maybe work some stuff out with Blade and Soul about like merchandising and stuff, so we can get the T-shirts that everybody wants. You know?
That was the question I wanted to ask. Are you gonna sell T-shirts?
I mean, everybody wants them, right? And we'll even get a shirt that says "This is an NC Soft T-shirt."
Oh my god. That's cool.
But that's still in the pipeline. I'm still.
Are there bnstree.com T-shirts to buy, Daka?
Just usually a tree with like a Blade and Soul on it.
We should totally do that. We should totally do that. Everest runs the shop, and then we have BNS Coffee. I don't know, something creative.
BNS Coffee's cafe. I got it.
Yeah. Something coming up
Blade
there.
and Soul themed cafe. Let's go.
Yeah. And then BNS Tree, and then BNS Coffee Tree. I was thinking about the art I want to put on the website. BNS Tree.
You're not seriously making BNS Coffee.
Yeah, it is already live. It is already
registered domain.
Yes, it is. It's live. It's the thing. I asked those two. They're fine. It's live. It looks like shit, but that doesn't matter.
What about BNS Coffee Tree Network?
Oh god. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Imperial.
And it
BNS
makes sense
Coffee
because trees have branches and they network off into like.
I need a second. I'm going to contact my guy and ask for a second domain. BNS Coffee Tree Network. Oh god.
That should just go purchase the domain from Namecheap quick before one of the people in chat goes deep on $10. They're gonna spend it and they're gonna try to scalp you.
Someone just said market gap confirmed. Someone's stealing the domain and selling T-shirts on that website. And they're ripping all of your logos too. Oh god.
They're putting all of our logos together.
My logo is still a temp logo. It's literally just a random picture I had of my character
an ugly Lin, yeah.
I was gonna pay someone like in gold or money to like draw my character drinking coffee, but then
ask Impy. She's doing great work.
I just haven't done that. I've been
That's funny because
I've been busy. Speaking of being busy, I have to go.
Okay.
I have obligations. I have to pick up a child and then go climbing. So
that's cool. Daka, Everest, would you guys be cool closing the show here?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Where can people find you, Coffee? So we can review you for the first person.
bnscoffee.com. You can email me support@bnscoffee.com. If you just search anything like BNS Coffee on Reddit and just message me on there, I'll usually respond or very quickly. Within at least like, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours, no problem. I think it's hard to stay away from Reddit for longer than that. So unless I'm asleep, yes. But no, other than that, yeah, just kind of on the website. If you have any suggestions for anything, let me know. I'll probably be working more with Daka and Everest, and we'll work on. Yeah.
Do you have any shoutouts to make before you go?
No, not really.
Shout out to yourself for having the website.
Yes, shout out to myself, I guess. No, that doesn't feel right.
Okay.
No, shout outs to the community for using it. Thanks to the people who donate to help support it. AWS is kind of expensive. Not that, it's...
What is that?
My free, like, year of, like, budget AWS, where, like, you get free tier on everything is gone, so now it's getting expensive.
Alright, support BNS Coffee, guys.
No, it's you don't need to. Don't feel obligated. I have gotten enough now to at least have a buffer for like probably 6 months, but after that, then we'll see where the game's at in 6 months. We'll see how much it continues by that point. But for now,
we're talking to you, the people that spend 5,000 on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
I
boxes.
promise I didn't spend all the donation money on Trove.
Thank you. But we know that Coffee has a lot of pets in game.
Yes, I do have a lot of pets in game, so I hope they continue to go up in price. So my friend will be happy when I log in and I give him like a bunch of gold.
Fair enough.
But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, again, hit anybody up.
All right, Daka, where can people find you?
Me, I don't stream that often as I used to because I'm so lazy. I guess you can find me on Reddit or something.
You have a Twitter?
Or on bnstree.com.
Yeah. I don't really. There is no email on it right now. Maybe I'll put it on sometime later, but who knows? Well, I guess you can also find me on Twitter at DakaRinger.
Awesome. Do you have any shoutouts to make too, Daka?
Shoutouts to my guild members, Ace, and shoutouts to, of course, BNS Tree. Yeah.
Awesome.
I also need support to keep it running.
Yeah, guys, on the bottom left of bnstree.com, there you can support him. Everest, where can people find you or the website?
You can find me on na.impbns.com. That's actually our Discord, and we have updates about all the tournaments we're doing and the going on in the competitive Blade and Soul community, and we'll have announcements on when we plan starting our tournaments back up.
Fair enough.
As for shoutouts, I want to shout out Impy. She does great art, and she's helped us and you, Ikatsu, with a bunch of the chibis and stuff that you make. She actually avidly drew the characters of all the tournament winners we had for a while. So
that's cool.
That was. But shout out to actually NC West, because despite all the pressure from the community and all the other things they have to do right now, bunching up all like the Soul Fighter release and all this content they're releasing, they're also supporting the competitive community. And while it's not as big as one may wish, it's a start, right? Like we're still at the beginning of Blade and Soul.
Exactly.
So even a little bit more support while they get more things approved is good enough for us.
Yeah. I think
and lastly, it doesn't sound cheesy, but thanks to the competitive community, first and foremost, actually, for supporting the cause of moving forward PvP and Blade and Soul. Although it is a kind of a rough time, like Overwatch release and a whole bunch of other good games are releasing. I still see some of the competitive players going strong. So, good job.
Thanks everyone for being on the show. Coffee, who has to go now, Daka, Everest, kind of short notice. Thanks all of you, big names, being on the show. Shout out to everyone who did this amazing layout, which is April and Heaven Eyes. It looks really cool. I'm super hyped.
Shout outs to Ikatsu, man. Shout outs to Ikatsu.
Yeah.
I tried to keep this running. We're getting some people from NC West in the future, talk about stuff, casual stuff, what rank are they in PvP and stuff like that. Shout out to NC West, trying to listen, trying to push changes through with the HM School being available only in the Western world for Zenbeans, which is currently kind of costly, and they're changing that cost because...
They're changing that on the 22nd.
Yeah. A lot of things happening. I'm super hyped. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'm not sure when I'm going to do the third show. It will be with Tena, a Warlock from EU, talking about Warlock changes and that kind of stuff. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a good night.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.